suffer, and we're tired of this. Sometimes we have to join together to even buy basic water for us to drink on our ward when the water is finished. We're entitled to 1 meal per shift, and that is only during the morning shift. And if you go to the kitchen, sometimes the cook will tell you the food is finished. So if you don't have money to buy your food, then sorry that you're on your own. And it goes a long way. We don't have enough gas. We're being told that we have to utilize the gas wisely. You can't tell me to utilize gas when I'm doing the final nail in the coffin, right? We're not only fighting for ourselves out here, but we're also fighting for the Belizean public as well. Because when you come to the hospital and we don't have what we need to work, then how will we provide adequate care for you? How will we give you optimum care? We're saying, or our vision and mission of the ministry is that we will give exceptional care and we will give the patient this type of care and the other type of care. But if you're not providing us with the resources, how could we do that? Nurses everybody come to this place from the domestic up. Come to this place every day and we improvise because we try to make it work for the public. We try our best to make it work for the public. So it's not only about the money. That was just the final straw.
Not yet. So talk to us about the resources, because I understand that even though medicine was supposed to be delivered.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sun Up on 7. And what you saw before I introduced this segment was, live interviews going on at Western Regional Hospital after nurses have walked out of the hospital. So as you rightly heard, there was various reasons as to why you're doing it. Ultimately, it's not just about them, but in general, healthcare of every Belizean. So joining us via Zoom, we have our dear Courtney Menzies joining to give us an insight into what is the vibe like at the moment. Courtney, good morning. Thank you so much for signing up with us.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're here at the Western Regional where we're talking to the nurses, and it's not just nurses, it's doctors, it's drivers, they said it's every shift worker basically. And they said that this is a long time coming. This is problems that they've been having for a while. It started off, I think what triggered it, they say, is that the calculations for their shifts are they're not getting the money that they work for. What one nurse explained to me that sometimes they would work maybe 84 hours overtime, but because of the shift calculation, they only get paid for 60 of those. And they're saying, school is opening and we need our money. We need to send our kids to school. We need to eat. We need our basic supplies and stuff like that. They're saying too that the other problem is that the hospitals aren't properly stocked with the resources they need. They don't have tape. They don't have medication. They have to go out of their pockets, which are already not being filled. They have to take out of their pockets to buy the things that they need for the hospital. And then on top of that, they have to actually go on Facebook and beg for these things too. They have to ask the public to donate things like Pampers. And so it's really a culmination of all of these things that has led to this walkout. And we got them. I sent you guys interviews from the nurses, the doctors. We also spoke to a driver. So everybody is out here in full force. And I'm going to show you guys right now. They're in front of the regional manager office, I believe, right now.
Wow.
So
Courtney,
so
thank you for giving us this insight into what's going on right now and mentioning, what are the reasons why this walkout is occurring. So they're standing in front of the regional manager. Do you see anything going on in terms of administration? Are they planning on taking any action?
Well, nothing so far. It's quite isolated. Nurses and the doctors and the shift workers basically that are out here. There's no real administration. I think they said that the chief of staff had just arrived. I don't know if he will be speaking, but they're waiting to see. Okay, the general manager was apparently here and she ran away. That's what they're saying.
Oh, wow.
So it doesn't look like any administration is trying to deal with this situation right now. So these are some of your signs. If we are essential, treat us as such. United we stand. This one says we are worth more. 12 hours work equals 12 hours pay. And what they were pointing out too is that these were the people who were at the front lines during the pandemic. They were the ones working the hardest. We lost nurses, doctors. We lost all of these people during the pandemic, and they were working overtime and not complaining. So this says heroes, now zeros. They were heroes during the pandemic, and now they're being treated, like they're zeros. That's genuinely how they feel.
Courtney, I want to ask. So, what time has this standout started? I think it was 7:30. And how
Yeah,
long
it started.
are they planning to keep it up and be out there? Because as you mentioned, you said the general manager kind of snuck away, run away, is not present at the present moment. So, is it gonna be
Yeah,
like
it
an all
started
day
at
thing?
7:30. I don't think it's gonna be all day. I'm not really sure of how long it'll last, but they're planning to I guess walk around the hospital, walk around the admin offices and whatnot. They were thinking about going out, or they were talking about going out to the Senate. I'm not sure if that will still be happening, but I'm not sure how long it will last. But it definitely started at 7:30, so we've been out here for about 30 minutes,
I
and
think
the
Jules
vigor
said
is
how
still
it's gonna be
here.
about 3 hours. They're gonna be out there too as well, showing
Okay.
what's
Yeah.
happening and.
I think at the end of the day, it's really like they're trying to make a statement there, and it's definitely we're seeing a statement. Courtney, we thank you so much for joining us on the show to give us what's happening live in action at Western Regional Hospital.
We truly appreciate it.
For folks that want to know what's the outcome of today, please tune into tonight's news, where you can be able to get the full story today. Courtney, we thank you so much. Please be safe out there,
And please continue to
we
get
wish
those
you all the
interviews,
best.
Courtney,
Yeah.
because we need to hear their voices. We need to know what's
Yes,
happening
definitely.
because we don't know it unless you report that story. So thank you so much for your work.
Thank you, Courtney. All the best.
Thank you too, guys.
Bye.
And so that was it when it comes to Courtney. I think, honestly, my heart is always moved when you hear the stories like, you have to do Russian off gas. You know what that is to do? Like, you have to think, I can't give this much amount because I have to schedule it for somebody else. Like, the stresses and then
Yeah.
going on Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
when Courtney was talking about, they have to go on Facebook to plead.
The
for
thing that
different
sticks out there,
resources.
Ren, is that there's a big disconnect between administration and the actual healthcare providers.
Yeah.
Where they're saying, this is how you're supposed to be doing your work, but you're not a doctor, right?
No.
You're not a nurse, so you're quite unaware of exactly how much gauze you would need, what medications you need to give, right? So there's a clear gap between administration and healthcare providers ongoing there. And again,
And this is the services we're supposed to be providing for our Belizean
Yeah,
public.
health
We
is a
want a
pillar.
healthy workforce. We have to provide the correct services, quality services. And I'm not seeing they're able to do it with the lack of resources and also being mistreated the way they're mistreated. You imagine on lunch
from
break in the
heroes to
morning,
zeros, that sticks out. That sticks out.
from heroes to zero. Like, everybody to praise them when it was COVID time. Ooh, we love our nurses. They were getting food and everything delivered to them. And then watch it now, because COVID is like slowly just coming on, like a decrease and everything with that. It's still here, of course, present, but it's not like people aren't paying as much attention to it. And now they're not going to get to eat if they don't have the money. And then that calculation thing about the work hours. I told you how I have some nurse friends that were talking to me about that. That always happens. They do a large amount of hours and they only get for some of it. And I think it's unfair because they have bills to pay just like anybody else. They're subjected to the same amount of bills. And we have to tell your landlord, oh, well, and I give me money. We have to tell your child, oh, well, and I give me money. Pay them what they're due, man. You
Yeah.
can't be working under these circumstances.
Definitely. So, folks, again, we invite you to tune into tonight's news so you can get the full story of what's going on out there. And if there's any way how you can support and stand in solidarity with the healthcare workers, by all means, please go ahead and do so. Again, healthcare is a very critical pillar of our country. So if that is shaking up, then you know we are in a bad shape.
I do also want to implore and just express for you guys out there that are going to access services, please understand that
Oh,
we
yeah.
are walking right now out here for a reason. Standing in solidarity also means that you understand their situation and respect it too as well. If you could go out there and stand it, that would be amazing. But if you can't, just respect the fact that, they might have less people on staff to work, that they don't have the necessary stuff that they need. Please don't rail up at them, because trust me, they're upset too as well. So please express some kind of kindness to them, because they're going through, even if they don't eat, because remember we saw the interview where sometimes they go to the lunchroom
they
and they
cut
don't have no food.
coffee, they cut water.
They don't have these things. They might have to put together to try buy basic water or necessity what we're all supposed to get, because they get thirsty to run up and down. Come on, guys. Let's please be mindful of what our healthcare workers, our professionals are going through. Show some and extend some kindness to them too as well. Because you want it back, let's extend it to them. Please. And let's stand in solidarity.
Great.
So with that, guys, we're going to go to our next commercial break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.